Adanna always believed success had a blueprint, and if she studied hard enough, copied carefully enough, and executed flawlessly, she'd get there too.
At 23, with a smartphone in one hand and a cheap ring light in the other, she launched her YouTube channel. Her room in the heart of Lagos became her little studio. Pastel backdrops hung unevenly on the wall, a shelf filled with wigs in different shades of brown and blonde, and a small desk littered with makeup brushes, lip gloss tubes, and notebooks full of video ideas, most of which weren't really her ideas. She scrolled endlessly through her favorite influencers' pages, scribbling down the titles of their most viewed videos. How to slay a closure wig like a pro, 1.2 M views. Morning routine in Lagos, 850K views. Knotless braids tutorial, 1.8 M views. If they could do it and get millions of views, why couldn't she? So she started. Her first video was almost a replica of her cousin Amaka's vlog. Same style, same captions, even the same chilled Afrobeats playlist in the background. She told herself it was smart. People love trends. Give them what they love. And at first, it worked. Views trickled in. Comments like "beautiful babe" and "slay queen" made her heart swell. She thought she was winning. What she didn't realize was that her entire brand was a house of cards, one that could collapse with the tiniest wind. Morning started the same way for Adanna. Alarm blaring at 6:30 a.m., eyes glued to her phone by 6:35. She scrolled through TikTok and Instagram, hunting for the next big trend. Her cousin Amaka's voice echoed in her head from weeks ago. You know, not everything that works for others will work for you. Adanna had laughed it off. Amaka, please. Views are views. Once I hit 1 million, you'll see. By noon, she was setting up her camera to film a new video. DIY butterfly braids at home. She wasn't even sure she liked braiding. Her hands moved stiffly, her fingers tangling in the extensions. But the influencer who posted it yesterday had gained 2.3 million views overnight. So Adanna pressed on, forcing a smile for the camera. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, she said, her voice higher than usual. Today I'll show you how to do butterfly braids, easy and beginner-friendly. The result wasn't perfect, but it didn't matter. She edited it with fancy transitions and uploaded it before sunset. Hours later, her phone pinged. A notification from Instagram. Then another. And another. At first, she grinned. This is it. It's happening. But as she opened the comments, her smile froze. Didn't Amaka post the same video last week? Girl, you didn't even bother to change the background music? This babe copies harder than an exam cheat. Her stomach twisted. She tried to ignore it, but by evening, Twitter was on fire. A side-by-side video of her and Amaka's tutorials had gone viral with the caption, "Spot the difference." Oh wait, you can't. The hashtags rolled in, copycat queen. Borrowed glow. Not her own work. It was brutal. Memes mocked her. Influencers subtweeted her, and followers dropped like rain in the harmattan. That night, Adanna sat alone in her room, staring at her reflection. For the first time, she couldn't recognize the girl in the mirror. Adanna deleted everything. Her YouTube channel gone. Her Instagram posts wiped clean. Even her WhatsApp display picture was replaced with a blank, gray circle. It felt like ripping pieces of herself apart, but she didn't stop until there was nothing left. For the first few days, her phone stayed on silent mode. Notifications still came, mocking messages from strangers, half-hearted check-ins from acquaintances, and one-liners from trolls. Hope you've learned your lesson, copycat. You'll never make it in this game. Stay down. She turned her phone face down and didn't touch it again. Adanna barely left her room. Her ring light gathered dust in the corner. The wig she used to love sat abandoned on the shelf. Even her reflection in the mirror felt like a stranger. Eyes dull, skin breaking out from stress. Her mother noticed. "Adanna, come and sit outside for fresh air," she said one afternoon, standing in the doorway with folded arms. Adanna didn't respond. For 2 weeks, she existed in silence. But then something shifted. It started when her little sister, Kayamika, came home crying. "Amaka, what happened?" Adanna asked, sitting up for the first time in days. My teacher's daughter promised to braid my hair before cultural day at school, but now she says she's too busy. Kayamika sniffled. Everyone else will look nice, and I'll look rough. Adanna stared at her sister's unkempt hair. Without thinking, she got up and fetched a comb and a tub of hair cream. Sit down, she said softly. I'll braid it for you. Kayamika's eyes widened. You? But you don't braid. I'll try, Adanna replied. At first, her fingers fumbled. She parted the hair unevenly, her movements stiff. But as she worked, something strange happened. Her hands began moving more confidently, twisting and weaving with a rhythm she didn't know she had. Hours later, Kayamika's hair was transformed into neat, intricate cornrows shaped like a rising sun. When her mother saw it, her mouth fell open. Adanna, you did this? Adanna nodded hesitantly. It's beautiful. Better than the salon, her mother whispered. For the first time in weeks, Adanna felt something stir in her chest. Over the next few days, word spread around the neighborhood. Mama Ife's daughter said you can braid? Adanna, can you help me with knotless braids for church? Your hands are gifted. Oh, you should be charging people. Adanna laughed nervously at first, but each head she braided gave her a strange satisfaction, more than any copied YouTube video ever had. One night, as she sat in her room massaging coconut oil into her palms, she whispered to herself, maybe this is it. Maybe this is my thing. For 2 months, Adanna stayed offline. But offline, she was coming alive. And when she finally picked up her phone again, it wasn't to scroll through influencers' pages. It was to open her camera and record her own work, not copies, not trends. Just her. 2 months later, Adanna sat in her room staring at her phone screen. The ring light was back in its corner, glowing softly, but this time the energy in the room felt different. Her heart wasn't racing with anxiety or the desperation to trend. It felt calm, steady. She opened the YouTube app and stared at her empty channel. No videos, no thumbnails screaming, "Hey guys," just a blank slate like a freshly painted canvas. She took a deep breath and hit record. "Hello," she began softly. Her voice wasn't overly sweet or forced. It was real. "I know I disappeared for a while. A lot has happened, and honestly, I wasn't sure I would ever come back. But during this time, I discovered something about myself. For years, I've been trying to be like everyone else, doing what I thought people wanted to see, copying trends, copying styles, copying people. And I lost myself. But now, I think I've found what I'm really meant to do. These," she held up her hands to the camera, "are not just hands. They're my gift. So, I'm starting over. No more copying. No more borrowed glow. Just me and the art I create." She ended the video with a small smile, uploaded it, and put her phone down. No fancy edits. No trending music. Just raw honesty. For hours, nothing happened. She didn't check the comments or refresh the page obsessively like before. Instead, she braided her neighbor's daughter's hair, crafting tiny, delicate zigzag cornrows with beads at the ends. By nightfall, her phone buzzed. First one comment, "This feels different. I'm rooting for you." Then another, "These braids are beautiful. You're really talented." And then more. By the end of the week, the video had 4,000 views. It wasn't viral, but Adanna didn't care. For the first time, people weren't liking her because she copied someone else. They liked her because she was herself. She filmed another video, this time a tutorial on creating simple Ghana weaving styles at home. Her hands moved confidently, the camera catching every twist and tuck. "Wow, I never knew braiding could be this relaxing to watch," someone commented. Subscribed. "You're so underrated." Slowly, her subscriber count grew. Not in leaps and bounds, but in steady, intentional steps. And this time, there were no memes mocking her. No hashtags dragging her name through the mud. Just quiet support from people who loved her authenticity. Adanna wasn't just back. She was becoming. Adanna woke up to a steady stream of notifications lighting up her phone. The video she had posted the night before, A tutorial on freestyle stitch braids had crossed 20,000 views in less than 12 hours. Her fingers trembled as she scrolled through the comments. "You're so talented, sis. Why haven't you blown up yet? I could watch your braiding videos all day. Subscribed. This is art. Pure art." A warm rush filled her chest. For the first time, she didn't feel like she was forcing people to notice her. They came because they wanted to. Her routine changed completely. Mornings weren't about scrolling through other creators' pages anymore. Instead, she set up her camera and practiced new styles: fishtail braids, heart-shaped cornrows, feed-in designs that flowed like water. She spent hours editing her videos, making sure every strand, every movement of her hands felt soothing to watch. By the end of the month, her subscriber count jumped from 4,000 to 25,000. One evening, as she filmed a client's braids for Instagram, her cousin Amaka called. The same Amaka whose content she used to copy mercilessly. "Babe, your work is everywhere, oh," Amaka said, her voice tinged with something between pride and surprise. "Even my friends in Abuja are sending me your videos. You're trending." Adanna's heart skipped. Trending? For real? Yes. And guess what? One influencer wants to repost your work. Adanna's hands stilled. Which influencer? ZHairBZ. The same Z you used to follow. Adanna felt her chest tighten. ZHairBZ had been her idol once, the creator she had copied more than anyone else. But this time, Z wasn't laughing at her. She wasn't mocking her. She wanted to collaborate. Later that night, as Adanna lay in bed staring at the ceiling, she thought about how far she'd come. Just 2 months ago, she was the butt of online jokes. Now, people were tagging her in posts, asking for tutorials, and calling her an inspiration. She picked up her phone and began drafting a post for Instagram. "They mocked me for not being original. I mocked myself for not believing in my own gift. But look at God. My glow isn't borrowed anymore. It's mine." She stared at the words for a moment, then hit delete. No need to explain. Her work spoke for itself now. Adanna stood in front of the mirror, her hands resting on her hips as she studied her reflection. She didn't see the anxious girl from months ago, the one who spent her days chasing trends and trying to fit into everyone else's mold. This woman was different. Her posture straighter, her eyes brighter, her smile unforced. Her phone buzzed on the dresser. A notification from YouTube. "Congratulations. You've reached 100,000 subscribers." She picked it up slowly, staring at the message as if it were written in another language. Just 6 months ago, people had dragged her name through the mud, called her a copycat, and laughed her off the internet. Now, brands were emailing her for collaborations, and her clients waited weeks just to get a slot on her braiding schedule. Scrolling through her page, she noticed something else. Each video wasn't just about braiding anymore. Viewers left comments saying her tutorials helped them find peace, that her soft voice calmed their anxiety, that her artistry inspired them to embrace their natural beauty. She hadn't just built an audience. She'd built a community. That evening, Adanna decided to film a different kind of video. She set her camera on the tripod, adjusted the lighting, and took a deep breath. "Hi, everyone," she began, her voice steady. "I wanted to talk to you not about braids or hair care, but about life. A few months ago, I was lost. I thought the only way to succeed was to copy others. I thought if I followed their paths exactly, I'd find my glow. But the truth is," she paused, her fingers curling slightly. "You can't shine wearing someone else's light. Your gift, your magic, your glory, it's already in you. You just have to stop running from it." She smiled faintly. So if you're watching this and you feel like you're not enough, or you're tempted to blend in just to be accepted, please don't. There's only one you, and the world needs what only you can give. She ended the recording, uploaded it, and walked away from the camera. For the first time in her life, Adanna didn't care about the view count. She already knew she had won.